Welcome to this week's astrology report. I am Jody Sharami and this is astropod_cast. This is for the remaining week of April from it's the last week, so I know I gotta say about that. So this week everything is happening now with Mars is exactly opposite Pluto in Aquarius. Saturn is meeting up with the North Node. Mercury is meeting up with in Pisces, has met up with Neptune. Uranus is involved with Pluto, and Pluto again is opposite of Mars and Leo at 3 degrees now. It is exact, and the tension is real. The tension is so real that it's kind of difficult to even function right now. I'm at the beach today. I'm not recording at Studio Cloud 9 today. I'm at the beach where I've come to do yoga. It's usually pretty quiet here. There's not a lot of people around, and it's very hot. It's 86 degrees today. And today there was a thread at my son's school via social media, not in school. The pressure is so intense that even kids are having a hard time because their parents are having a hard time. And that's something that the administration is not thinking about, that's right now in charge of America. And things are starting to collapse really quickly. And from what I can discern, the Democratic Party is completely verklempt. They don't really know what to do to combat someone that doesn't follow the rules. So there's a lot of comparison right now to Trump being Hitler. This is how Hitler came in and stoked fear in everyone, starting with the Jewish people, and then anyone who wasn't blonde and blue-eyed, whereas Hitler himself was not blonde or blue-eyed. So we see a lot of this happening with Mars against Pluto, and I said last week that Pluto will win the battle. Pluto is the strongest planet there is, even though it's a dwarf planet. It is much more powerful because it's further out. So the strength of each planet would be Pluto, and then Neptune's next, and then Uranus, and then Saturn, and then Jupiter, and then Mars, and then Venus, and then Mercury, then the Moon. But obviously the most powerful thing is the Sun. The Sun will destroy everything, which it is beginning to do with global warming. It will destroy us little petty humans that fight over minerals. And now I heard that Trump has passed a bill to let deep sea diving commence. And there was a documentary at Sundance in 2024 addressing this very thing, how deep sea diving goes in and picks up these little tiny rocks that are sitting literally at the bottom of the ocean. But these little rocks with the minerals in them are protecting the ocean because they're so old, they're millions of years old. That's why they're crushed into these very, very needed minerals that humans seem to need now. But again, it is destroying the earth. It is starting to ruin the ocean's balance. And I feel as though it's really easy right now to give up, to just say, well, what's going to happen? Someone will come along and save the day. What can we do about it? But there are people that are protesting and going and making town hall meetings and asking their leaders if they're going to have town halls. And a lot of them are opting out of town halls and having a virtual meeting. And some of them are quite upset if you ask if they're going to have a town hall, like Representative, I believe, Mace. Her name even sounds like it's awful. She's awful. So right now the attention grabbing is huge, huge, huge. That again has to do with the opposition of Pluto and Leo and Mars. So this opposition is bringing a lot of personalities out that can no longer be contained. They feel like they need to show their personality. They need attention. They need to be valid. And so that's what we're dealing with right now, is that there's not enough love inside of some people to love themselves. And they react out of fear. And it's a competition. And we are seeing it happen right now, real time on the stage. So with all these things happening, Neptune is in Aries. And Neptune is here to soften Mars. Mars may have a little bit of influence on Neptune, but Neptune is the more powerful planet. And it is Venus exalted, and Venus is still in Pisces, moving along, meeting up with Saturn. And when Venus meets with Saturn, I spoke about last week, a lot of people feel less than. They need more attention. They need more love, because Saturn restricts. Saturn is a box, and it restricts. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. When it comes to love, there should be no box around love. Love should be abundant for everyone. And now a lot of the new spiritual leaders are passing it on to their children. And one of the things they're passing on is that unconditional love God has for you. But the only problem with unconditional love is that it means you can go out and do whatever you want, and God will still love you and forgive you. And that's great, but only for those who are self-accountable. They're not doing anything evil. Even if you do anything evil, God will forgive you, but it doesn't mean God's going to welcome you to heaven. And the devil will have a good time with you. If you haven't watched that new show, Lucifer, you can see that Lucifer is most like a human than a god, in that there's bad and good in him, and he doesn't understand until he comes to earth, and he's trying to help people see how he can see through them, and he'll put you back into hell. But God and his brother wants him back in hell so he can run the insane asylum. But he doesn't want to go back there because it's no fun being in hell with a bunch of people that don't abide by rules, don't have any sense of decency, hating people. I see the word KKK coming up a lot. I see a lot of people afraid, dyeing their hair blonde to fit in. I see a lot of stuff happening, but most of all, it's attacking people that are different. And the saga of my neighbor continues. The Cancer woman with her high-pitched voice. And then she smokes too much, and then now she's growling and pretending to not bothering me. But every time I'm out in the garden, she'll walk by and smoke her cigarettes. And I found a cigarette butt in my yard, and I'm just like, how petty can you get? So I feel for Cancer people right now. They're going through hell, literally, because Mars was there for about 4, almost 5 months, and they had to really look at themselves and really see who they are. And again, Pluto will destroy that ego that's in Leo. And as a Leo sun, ego isn't really a problem, because real Leos usually lack confidence, and they love themselves, but we usually have hard parents. Our parents are usually not supportive of us. Most Leos I know, Leo sons. And if the parents are supportive of them, then they have that big ego that President Trump has as an ascendant. And now he's going to have some difficulty coming up in Mars. His chart is very, very coming in and going to check him. And he's going to get frustrated in March. I mean, in May. He's going to lose his sense of balance. And then by May, June, by July, it's all going to come to a head. We're not sure what's going to happen, except for whatever happens, he's the cause of it. He's partake in it by the way his chart is. Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. Last week was a nice long one. Go and check that one out if you need more information. Thank you again to my new subscriber and my subscribers, and thank you my spiritual children. I am working on some stuff, and I've just been very busy this week. I've had to do some stuff in the beginning of the week, and I didn't get to a lot of things, but I am thinking about you, my spiritual children. I will get it done. This weekend is the new moon. I've replanted 2 of my bananas babies, and I'll be planting some more this weekend. So I'm a little bit busy around the new moon always for my planting season. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care.